Welcome everybody to this week 2/week 1 catch-up match between Damien Furtado at the top of the screen and Will McCarty at the bottom. Both of these players featured in the new player division last season, had very good seasons to the extent that they qualified for Division 2 this year. They both in their first match picked up 9 points, so they're heading into this even. With a shortened season, it's going to be ultra competitive this time round to stay ahead of the pack. Will was the one that recorded this, so we're looking at his hand. He's playing this deck he did last week, which is a blue-red artifact deck built around Sai, Master Thopterist. On the other side, Damien looks like he's on Esper control. You can see the Forsake the Worldly on the Inspiring Statuary. Nice play there from Damien. Let the Khan resolve and then quickly Vraska's contempted it. This is one card he doesn't want to let resolve. No, he's got the Essence Scatter for Sai, Master Thopterist. He still has to deal with that construct, which gets bigger each time you play an artifact. Now this is instant speed, so he's going for this main phase, which is a bit of a surprise. You can see here the importance of Forsaking the Worldly on the Inspiring Statuary. It means that he can't play the Commit Memory. So here's Drawer. This is a big card as well in this deck, and that gets the Essence Scatter as well. But you look at Damien's side, he's down to 2 cards, so the huge card advantage engine on the other side is going to work, and so is that construct. Damien down to 12, 3 cards in hand, 2 counter spells. He's almost in a position here, Will, where he can just ride these counter spells to victory. I think he doesn't have to do anything. He's got a 2-turn clock. So Damien needing to find an answer quick smart. 2 Commit Memories in hand. I think this first game is going to Will very quickly. Here's a Gear Hulk, and that gets the Commit Memory. So down to 2 cards, down to 6. Lethal on board. He needs an answer right now. He's going to cycle a Hieroglyph, hoping to probably find a Vraska's Contempt. Cycle, that's his last chance. What's he going to find? Fatal Push will do it as well. He's tapped out, so we're going to game 2. Unless he has land. No, he doesn't. So game 2. So a very quick one. And Bill keeps his perfect record alive. He hasn't actually dropped a game with this deck yet. Negate up. How's he going to approach this? He wants that Inspiring Statuary to resolve. It's quite a key card in this deck. So it looks like he's going to play it on turn 5 with Counterspell backup. Here we go. He's going to fight over this. Does it resolve? No, it does a negate. Fires back his own negate, and it resolves. So that's a big one. We did see the Forsake the Worldly main deck from Damien in game 1. I'm sure that stayed in. Now Will is faced with this need to resolve the Aetherflux Reservoir, but he's got a Jace's Defeat as backup. And he's got the Paradoxical Outcome. So I'm surprised he went that line, to be honest. That gets a disallow. So now he can go Aetherflux Reservoir. So that's the win con right there. He needs the Paradoxical Outcome now to bounce. Fatal Push will take down the Ornithopter. So Draw is a big card as well, because Draw actually draws him a card every time he plays an artifact. So this is going to get a Gear Hulk, and that's a huge target for Jace's defeat. But you can see here, he's actually out of cards. Will's out of cards. Damien's got 5 in hand. He can safely take down the drawer if he has the card creature removal, which he does not. Prophetic Prisoner is going to draw him a card. A second drawer is not what you want. It's legendary. He just does it to get the card draw. So he resolves a Search for Skanta now. So Damien's got 5 cards and an Escanta. He still can't get that draw off the battlefield. You can see Will is up to 32 life. He's got to get to 50 in order to win. He can actually do it this turn. So there's 2 cards here that Damien needs to counter. The first one is this. The second is the paradoxical outcome. So he's up to 33. This one, okay, so I think the fact that that resolves kind of tells me he doesn't have another counter spell. Here's a Gearhulk. He's tapped out now. Gets back a Glimmer. Look at all the cards he's got in hand. Plays a Mox Amber. Can he tap it? He doesn't have a legendary, so it won't tap for mana. Because he just lost the drawer. Now he's got to discard cards, so that's not ideal. 42 life, though. Here's a Teferi. Teferi has to bounce Aetherflux Reservoir, I think. And that's what he's going to do, yes. So he can actually tap the Mox Amber from coloured mana now if he wants to. He's going to be able to get back the Aetherflux Reservoir, so he's got the negate back up. So I think he can actually win the game this turn. There's a negate, he's fighting over it. He's going to fight that for sure. If this resolves, it's game over, but he's got a second, Damien's got a second negate, so he's going to survive for a little bit. He's at 48. Now, I think you can see here taps 4 cards. He's got him at 43, so Will's only got to get to 50 to win this match. Oh no, my apologies. The Aetherflux Reservoir didn't resolve. I must have been half asleep. And so he's kind of in a position here. Will is where he doesn't really have a win con. He needs an Aetherflux Reservoir or a Psymaster Thopterist. Is this Khan worth a counter? Khan's going to make huge constructs. Probably the worst possible draw there. Khan, trigger draw Khan. You can see 5/5s, now 6/6. It's just a massive card drawing engine here. Now he's got Psy, so this is where he can go off. He's got 2 commit memories as backup. Four cards in hand for Damien. He's thinking long and hard about this one. Is this worth countering? The fact that he counters this kind of suggests that he doesn't have creature removal in his deck anymore. Now, that could have been countered. I think I would have used one of my commit memories for that. He's going to go for a second Khan here to make another construct. So he's got 2 10/10s. So Gearhulk's back on chump duty if there's no sweeper on the other side. Damien now probably looking for a Fumigate. He's left himself 6 mana. I like this counter. If he wants to counter it, it means he can't Fumigate this turn. No response from Damien, so 4 cards left in hand. He cycles. Now it's Settle the Wreckage as his get out. Teferi will get him one more look. Well, Baral's expertise is going to win him the match here. He can just bounce the Gear Hulk and win. And I think there's no concession yet, so I'm guessing that there's something on the other side. There's no commit to memory, and 2 games to 0 to Will in standard. So Will is still undefeated in standard. And now he's on what looks to be some sort of probably Eldrazi and Taxes build. There's not one a second Chalice of the Void. Suspended Hello Fountain, so probably blue-white control on the other side for Damien. Lean and Arbiter is going to do a bit of work here. Particularly if Damien's holding fetches. A fetch, yeah, and there it is. A fetch land for his second land is an absolute disaster. But he actually pathed then. I don't know why he. Oh, I don't know why he. Oh, okay. So the path resolves and then he searches. That's right. Chalice for 0 would have been funny. Shut down that ancestral vision. But oh, Damien's going to have a look. What do you got over there? I think you'd take. Oh, this is a tough one. He'd be inclined to take the Thought Knot Seer if he's got anything valuable in his hand. Yeah, I was going to say, otherwise the Eldrazi Displacer, because the Displacer will just do a ton of work. So we're going to get a look now. Let's see what's going on. 2 Jaces, a Terminus, and a Negate. He's going to take Terminus, because Jace can actually put that back on. So we're going to see Jace the Mind Sculptor now. So there's blue-white control that Damien's on. Its main idea is to win around Terminus. So it uses cards like Jace the Mind Sculptor and Opt to, just spat on my laptop, Jace the Mind Sculptor and Opt in order to put Terminus as the next card to draw first, and then to bounce the board. So he's going to reload here. There we go. Right now, he Miracle's Terminus off the top from the Ancestral Vision, clear the board, and now it's Jace going to take control time. Going to look at the top of his deck. It puts the card back on top. So it's a Simian Spirit Guide. So he's just got to deal with this Thought Knot Seer now. Cryptic Command down. He's going to draw look at 3 cards here, put them back. Because he's dead to Thought Knot Seer if he can't find an answer here. He's tapping blue. Here we go. Oh, passes the turn, and there's a Reality Smasher. So if there's a Settle the Wreckage here, he's going to try and bait it out right away. He's not going to be able to do it. He'll play the Reality Smasher. So Will's playing around the Settle the Wreckage right there. Removes a counter from Ancestral Visions. Upkeep going to take down the Chef at Dunes. 3 counters left on the Ancestral Visions. 9 damage on board though, so Damien needs to find something here. Well, this is timely because if he was holding Settled Wreckage, Damien can't play it now because of Dahlia, and there's lethal on board this turn. So he needs an answer right now. Does he have it? 5 cards in hand. Finds Jace the Mind Sculptor. That will have to find a path to exile, I think, or a Terminus. He can't find it, so we're going to game 2. So Will's Will McCarty here on a sweep at the moment. He's undefeated. I don't really like that play. He should have played Eldrazi Temple and then floated the Simian Spirit Guide just in case he had. Well, I guess he didn't have the Thought Knot, so it didn't make much difference. Sorry. But Chalice for 1 is going to do big work here. Now, I'm not familiar with the rules of Miracle, so if he draws Terminus and he miracles it for 1 mana, does that mean the casting cost is 1 mana, so it will be blocked by Chalice of the Void? I'll have to find that out. I'm not sure how that rule works, or if it still remains a 6 mana card. Now, that's just a straight up strip mine for both players because Leonin Arbiter meant that he couldn't pay the 2. As and again, strip mine time. I'm not sure why he was tapping blue unnecessarily there. Okay, he's got to get something going right now. Detention Sphere to take down the Arbiters. That's a start. You can see Will's in a lot of trouble mana-wise. This one's over. We're going to game 3, I think. Oh, he's got to dismember 2 Reality Smashes. So Damien's dead to a. Oh, here's Jace the Mind Sculptor. Bounces Thalia. I was going to say Damien is dead to a Eldrazi Temple, but now he's just dead to any land off the top. Can't find that land. So Thalia can actually take down Jace here, or make it a 1-turn clock. So quite a decision. He's going to go at the face. Colonnade's going to fire up. And nice play there. Ghost Quarters in response. It does mean that he doesn't have the Reality Smasher win next turn. But Thalia is actually lethal. There is another Colonnade on the other side. Eldrazi Temple will be lethal for Will. Damien cutting it very fine. And the funny thing here is that the early strip mine, oh, he's gone for a second Jace just to get the extra activation. The early strip mine from Will is actually, oh, there's Reality Smasher, that's lethal. Does he have a counter spell? He does, it's Mana Leak. So he cracks his fetch and goes to 1. We know there's a second Smasher coming though, unless he Field of Ruins here. I think he's going to. He puts the top card back on top. It's a Leonin Arbiter. It's a cryptic. Okay. I'm surprised he didn't Field of Ruin that. Now he's going to do it. As he keeps the card on top again, let's see what he draws. The Chalice, that's no good at this point. Still got so many threats though that Damien has to answer, and here's the first one. Every 2-drop that Will's going to play is going to be represent lethal. I'm surprised he didn't run out the Leonin Arbiter there, because then Celestial Colonnade wouldn't have been an out. At the moment, he can still chump with Colonnade. Damien's got 6 cards in hand. I'd love to see what he's got going on over there. Okay, Supreme Verdict. A very expensive one. Okay, now he's got a Baneslayer Angel. And we'll talk about a timely draw, Dismember off the top. And again, a Lethal Thalia. He plays Chalice for 0 just to stop any Ancestral Vision, but that's is that a win? Yeah, it is. Game 3. Damien pulls it out. That's a huge one. So what happened there? Because I was talking, Will was down to 8, so he used Jace to bounce the creature, got in with Colonnade, and then put him to 4. I think he would have played the Eldrazi Temple there, because if he draws another Temple here, he could have played the Smasher this turn. Yeah, he missed an opening there, I think. What do you take here? I'd be inclined to take... Oh, it's a tough one. Jace is pure card advantage, but he would be dead to Reality Smasher. I think, yeah, I want to take that or Cryptic Command, because you want him to tap out here for Jace. If he taps out for Jace, he's just going to get super punished. Terminus off the top is huge. Smuggler's Copter is an interesting one. Here's a Vendilion Click. So what does this take? He's going to take the Smasher. This time I think Jace is gone. Oh, Snappy's back. Possibly Cryptic. He's going to take the Jace. One counter left, so it's coming off counters on the next turn. In comes Vendilion Clique. So he's happy to trade the Copter for it. Interesting that he gave up the Leanin' Arbiter there. Damien back up to 7 cards now. Fully restocked hand. So he taps it. Oh, he taps that blue again. I don't know what's going on there. Thought not Seer going to get in. I'm surprised he used the Cryptic there. Bounces it and gets. So he's going to get double card draw, but Thought Knot can just be played straight back out. You can see that he all lands except for a Spell Snare. And with 2 Ghost Quarters, this is looking pretty ominous here for Damien. What's he going after? He's going after a Ghost Quarter, okay. 2 counters left. Finds a second, and Ghost Quarter is the Ghost Quarter. So he's trying to protect his colonnades here. He's going to get a colonnade out of all of this. Disenchant. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, this is lethal right here. The chef at Dunes. So colonnade's going to have to chump block if he doesn't have anything on the other side. It is. It's on chump block duty. Top deck time for Damien, or it's game over. Oh, Supreme Verdict. That must have been off the top. And he'll get the card draw as well. And suddenly it's Will with nothing going on, and a resolved Ancestral Visions from Damien. It's a big turnaround here. 7 cards in hand. Main phase is an alt. I'm guessing he's looking for, yep, one of those guys. Teferi. He is still dead though to Reality Smash off the top. Oblivion Ring will take down Teferi. Thalia. And that Spell Snare, he's been holding that for quite some time. Syrian Spirit Guide can't be hard cast here. So he's going to start going to work on those Eldrazi temples, mainly just to thin his own deck out, I'm guessing. Dismember. We've seen the Lyra Dawnbringer and Baneslayer Angel from Damien, so Dismember's a handy one. Now, he's not cracking the Flooded Strands, so he's got a 2-turn clock with the Thalia. That's going to get pathed. I probably would have waited one more turn before I pathed it, to be honest. And Cryptic Command on the Dismember. That is huge. And he can bounce Oblivion Ring if he wants to, but which is what he's going to do. He bounces the Oblivion. No, so they've rolled back. Okay, so Damien said he misclicked. But the problem there is he bounces the Oblivion Ring. It just does the same thing next turn. So yeah, he's going to play the Lyra Dawnbringer. So will play the Dismember. Yeah, they're playing this the correct way. So I think he wants to counter draw. No, he bounces Oblivion Ring. Like, yeah, okay, I know what he's doing. He wants to activate Teferi. So he plays back out the Oblivion Ring. What do you get this time, though? That's an interesting one. The card draw or the thing that stops his Smasher? He's going to take the thing that stops his Smasher. I probably agree with that play. Yeah, but kudos to Will, especially there for the sportsmanship to roll that back. Now Teferi's going to start going to work. You can see here, Damien's not cracking those flooded strands. Oh, there it is. So does he have the answer to it? He can't counter it. Is there an answer? There is not. So we're going to Legacy and Will trying to pick up 12 points here. Takes down Modern 2 games to 1 in a pretty good contest. That was what proved to be a pretty decisive Cavern of Souls. Yeah, they're just discussing in the chat what the correct line was at the end there. I think the issue was that Will needed that particular line of Cavern into Smasher because as soon as he played the Cavern, it cut off a number of outs that Damien potentially had. So once the Cavern dropped, Cryptic was still live because he can tap it down, but he would still have to deal with it. But something like a Mana Leak was no good. Here we've got, there's a true name Nemesis down early, obviously naming Damien. It looks like we've got Jeskai. I don't know what they call this deck. This is the value one where they use Stoneforge Mythic. Visaggio gives this one away, a bit unusual to see it main deck, but it looks like it's Sneak and Show. I think they normally play Visaggio in the sideboard. Plays out True Name Nemesis here so that he can hold up Force of Will with Counterspell. So that if he untaps here, then he also has access to hardcasting Counterspell or hardcasting Force of Will if he draws another land. Brainstorms. 3-turn clock at the moment. Plenty of time in Legacy. Besaju basically means that you can play all your instants and sorceries through that land. Then costs 2 life to tap for any color and it can't be countered. So here's a Cunning Wish. Choose an instant from outside the game. So I guess it's through the breach. That's going to be able to be played next turn. So it depends what he breaches 999 times over 1,000 in Legacy he'll breach Emrakul. Possibly breaches Grizzlebrand. If he breaches Grizzlebrand, I think it's game over. It is game over because there's lethal on board. If he breaches, so he plays this through Boseiju, so Force of Will is no good there. You can see 6 permanents on the board for Will. He doesn't need to surrender here, he's going to drop to 2. So the play here, he can, you can see the life totals, Emrakul's gone. He's looking for, he needs red source into lightning bolt. Yeah, I think it skipped a turn, so he's going to go for show and tell here. Doesn't need to tap the he can't tap the Boseiju anyway because he'd be dead. But that gets countered. Can't tap that Ancient Tomb. Well, he's in an awkward position here because he's going to get. What is he going to get here? Oh, Lightning Bolt. Okay, that'll do it. So that's game. Yep, and he kills himself by cracking. So I don't actually know what Will's deck is going to bring in for this match because normally you'd assume more counter spells, but the problem is we saw the Boseiju in the first game. I don't know if that's the line you want to fight this battle on. I'm not an expert on this deck at all, so I'm not going to pretend to know the correct answer. What's he going to go for? Show and tell, I guess. 3 show and tells. The funny thing with this intuition here, you can see 3 show and tells, so 2 of them go into the Brave. So counter this one, and he's only got 1 more show and tell left in his deck. Makes it very hard to win. See if he goes for it here. He is. Gets countered. Is there a counter spell on the other side? There is. It's Spell Pierce. Nice. So show and tell resolves. And it's Omniscience. So Omniscience means he can play all his spells without paying any mana cost for them. He just needs to actually have a threat now, which he doesn't have. You can see he brainstormed. He Damien did take down the first match. So the pressure's on Damien here, Will here to win this one. You can see there's 3, 5, 7, 8. There's actually lethal on board here, I believe. He forgot to activate the sword there. That's a missed. He missed a activation there. Yeah, I believe he's missed lethal because if he missed the trigger for the Stoneforge, he could have equipped the sword and then fired. Okay, and Damien just concedes. He didn't actually have a red source there for the bolt in hand, so he was a turn shy, but it didn't make a difference anyway. Yeah, there's yeah. So just to follow up on that line there, Damien. We saw in modern that Damien missed activating Teferi because he forgot to push F5 and he said it. And Will did the No, sorry, he didn't forget to activate Teferi. He didn't activate Teferi because he had the F5 set, so it skipped through. Now, in that particular instance just now, Will, did the gentlemanly thing and allowed the rollback. In this particular case, uh, Will missed a trigger for Stoneforge to activate Stoneforge. He's Damien is not expected under sportsmanship or otherwise to actually allow that rollback. Will never asked for it, just to be clear, but just so others understand, because it's simply a missed trigger. We try and treat it like real life. If you forget to activate the Teferi, you missed it, too bad. But in this particular case, Damien clearly wanted to activate Teferi, but he'd accidentally pushed F5. Now, there's no F5 in real life, so of course that situation is not going to happen. But mistriggers are mistriggers. Stoneforge is getting in here. Instead of tapping for the sword, so here goes show and tell. This could be the win right here. What's he going to show? He's show and tell omniscience. Vendilion Clique's a nice one to show and tell. What do you take? He takes force of will. There's nothing going on the other side. So now he's going to intuition. I probably would have taken intuition on Ponder just to prevent him because he's got two chances now. Yeah, he finds Emrakul, so this is the game. And Damien takes Legacy to get back a format.